Hello, good morning. It's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to share some guidance and pull some cards for this week ahead. That's this week starting Monday the 28th of June through till Sunday the 4th of July. Another month we're transitioning into. It feels like I was just saying that last week for the last month. But the days and the weeks are flying by, so it's all the good reason to take each day, treat each day as a precious gift, I suppose, you know, to make each day count, because the time flies. Before we know it, our kids have grown up. Before we know it, things change. So it's good to enjoy things that are working for us when they are. So welcome, extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much. If it wasn't for your support, Temple of Balance would not exist, and it really is that simple. So thank you for your support. And those of you who do support my work also help me be able to reach people who can't support right now. So your support is essential in helping my work stay here. So thank you so much. If you do want to support my work, if you haven't for a while, then please have a look on my website at templeofbalance.com.au, and you'll find lots and lots of resources, from meditations that are just a couple of dollars through to artwork, different things that services, pendants, crystals, card decks, books, artwork, lots of different things that I've created over the last 16 years. So please, if you haven't supported for a while and you get something out of my work, please have a visit to my website, because your support helps me and my family, and to be able to bring my resources out more than you might realise. So thank you so much. So if you're new to watching, it is a bamboo behind me. It's a bamboo that we have moved to the floor because it's, I don't know, 9 or 10 feet tall. It's beautiful, and it's definitely our pride here in our living space is our bamboo and its presence. But if you're new to watching, welcome. What I'll be doing today is using my Speed of Light Oracle cards, which have been combined with my Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. You can learn more about these decks on my website. I've combined them to create a 110 card deck, and I'll be using this deck to find the best cards for this week ahead. So I'll be laying them out here beside me, and I'll be sharing them in an intuitive way. So see what resonates, see how it fits and feels for you. It might validate things you've been thinking about. Sometimes that happens. But what's really important to remember is just take on board what feels right for you at the time and let the rest go. If it doesn't resonate or make sense to you, it may be a message that someone else needs to hear. So you can trust in what resonates with you. Don't trust in everything, because it's probably not all for you. So thank you. Think of this as a guide only, and let's see what happens. So I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia. It is Monday the 28th of June, and it is 10:52 a.m. So I'm shuffling the cards, and I'm asking the cards to show us what we need to know for this week. That is the majority of us for this week, Monday the 28th of June through till Sunday the 4th of July 2021. You've got to add the year, otherwise, you know, very early on I realised that the year is really important to add or think about. So last week we had communication as the theme. We had lots of shadowy energy, which a lot of you have contacted me to say you were feeling, and I know I was feeling it too. Lots of pushing out of the rut energy too, especially over the weekend. So let's see, this week, the best cards for this week for the majority of us are these, and I'm going to lay them out in a capital T face down here beside me. So just bear with me a second while I get these guys out. We have a nice even amount of cards in regards to the different types of card decks out. And just turning these over now. Okay, so we've got a featured card, which is the Cobra Bite, which is pretty potent. It says to take the top card from the deck. So the top card is this, the zebra, to add with the cobra. So we'll talk more about that in a moment. So let's see. The very first card is our friend from Saturday. This was Saturday's card too, and it's coming up for Monday or early this week. And it's card 43, the bear. And the bear reminds us to move out of the rut. So like I said last week when this card came up, sometimes we slip into our cave, we slip into a withdrawn sort of space for healing, for mending, for reassessing our life. We slip away in there temporarily because we need maybe even some time to rest, and then we come out of that cave. Now, sometimes we slip back into the cave, into that withdrawn sort of space for healing, for mending, for resting, and then sometimes we stay there, and we stay in this comfortable, withdrawn sort of space, maybe holding ourselves back as well. And sometimes we hold ourselves there. It could be for various reasons. It may be because we feel safe. It may be because we recently went through a difficult time and it is our safe place where we're not going to be hurt or what have you. But there does reach a point where that sort of holding ourselves back more permanently, I suppose, not temporarily, can become a bit of a rut for us, where we actually become a bit stuck. And a part of us, like our soul or our heart, can be pulling us forward, you know, trying to entice us out of this cave and out of this rut. So there is a lot of energy around this. The weekend, and it looks like starting the week, is this moving out of the rut. So this we could also look at from another perspective as like a motivation or an inspiration to come out of hiding, to try something new, to start something, to finish something perhaps. But there is this sort of forward momentum kind of feeling with this card, this coming out of the rut, coming out of hiding. So this is a really great start to the week, and just also highlights what we've already been likely feeling the end of last week and over the weekend, is this inspiration, this pull forward, there's not a settling feeling with this card, which is not a bad thing. We may feel settled in some areas of our life, which is great, but there is something unsettling too about this this pull, this urge, this motivation, this action, this productivity that we might be feeling early in the week. So let's trust that we are ready to move out of the rut. So moving into Tuesday, so let's just see how we're going to divide this week up. Tuesday we have card 1 called Archangel Michael, and it says truth, protection, boundaries and courage. So this is very much about our boundaries, especially early in the week and focused around Tuesday, the 29th of June. So a lot of us may be inspired to really look at our boundaries, how we're spending our time, what we're doing with our energy, where our mind is focused, where our attention or our energy is going. And we may need to look at how we can bring our energy back. It almost feels like reeling it in, so we're not giving our power, giving our attention, giving our maybe even our time away to things that we're not really wholeheartedly in, or that we need to do, that we're obligated to do. So there might be this it almost feels like a pruning or a thinning out of things that are taking our attention, and look at how we can bring our attention back to the things that are important to us. And what I like to say is remind myself to tend to the nest, which reminds me to tend to or focus on the things that are important to me. Sometimes we get a bit distracted, or we spread ourselves a bit thin. So what do we need to thin out? What do we need to bring back and sort of, bring back a little bit, especially around Tuesday. So boundaries are likely important. And then that moves us to Wednesday. Wednesday the 30th, the last day of the month. And we have these two cards for Wednesday. So we've got the Cobra Bite, which is a featured card, which brought through this card too. So I'm going to talk about the zebra in a minute. We'll look at this separately first, this card. It's Cobra Bite card 9. It packs a bit of a punch. It's quite a sharp energy. It says sting, shock, truth, and illusion. So there is something quite maybe surprising, maybe shocking in some ways, but I don't mean to say that to generate any fear, but something quite sharp that's probably going to happen or occur for us around Wednesday or around the end of this month. And it will probably be something that takes us by surprise, although with this card coming up, it's probably not going to be as big of a surprise as it could have been if we didn't know about this already. So what this is usually doing is it's helping bring something about that will align us further with our truth and who we are and living a true life as a true one, we could say. So it's connected with this card, and we'll look at it by itself first. It's card 22 called Zebra, and it says alternative options. So we're being reminded with the zebra that there may be other options, especially in regards to something that we're dealing with around midweek where we think that there is not any other option or there's no solution to. So let's be willing to soften and open up to the idea that there may be other options, there may be other potential solutions for us to become aware of or look for in the situations that we're dealing with, but especially the situation that's connected with the Cobra Bite, which is that surprising, sting, sharp kind of energy that it may be a pleasant surprise, it may very well be, but it may also be a not so pleasant. It comes up for really any type of surprise. So whatever happens around Wednesday, we're being encouraged. In fact, it's probably helping pull us out of our comfort zone, so we will see other options or other solutions that are likely available. So that's for around Wednesday. So let's look now. We're going into a new month, into July the 1st. This is Thursday. Hi everybody, I just realised I didn't say hello to you this morning. I'm sorry about that. It's lovely to see you here. But this is for the 1st of July, and we have the Frog, card 34. And the frog says to cleanse your environment. So this is about clearing, purging, letting go. It's about spring cleaning, clearing our space. It could be quite literally spring cleaning, like externally in the physical. It may also be a purging that we go through emotionally or mentally as well. So there is a clearing out, and there is the feeling here that something that's going to probably reveal itself through that Cobra Bite energy is probably going to prompt us to release some things, especially around Thursday. So it almost feels like the Cobra, this energy here, if I can pick up the card, excuse me, it's shifting energy in the throat. So there's a lot of truth connected here too. It feels like the sharp energy that this will likely contain will shift up things that may require some purging and clearing in our life. So let's be willing to see the truth. Let's not be afraid of what might come up, but trust that it's going to reveal to us potential other options or solutions, and it will highlight maybe some things that require purging, maybe even people or a person that requires purging from our life. So let's make sure that we're always, well, it's important to me, I don't know if it's important to everybody, but that we are doing things and living our life aligned with our highest truth. And then true things will be the things that come. And we can trust that change or surprises or things that occur happen for a reason, that may be leading us somewhere else or leading us towards a new door that wants to open that is going to be better for us in our life. So let's move now to Friday. So Friday the 2nd of July, and we have the Echidna, card 19, and the Echidna reminds us not to dwell on the details. So let's not stop and dig up the dirt unnecessarily, but allow ourselves to acknowledge what we might notice and keep going. This card's about keeping on going. It's not about stopping and digging up all the dirt and all the unnecessary dirty details that don't need to be dug up. So there almost feels to be like a wisdom with this card too, of realizing what requires our attention and what we can just sort of walk away from in some ways and just keep going with, instead of focusing on, you know, blowing something out of proportion. So that's especially for Friday. And then interesting too, so this is for the weekend. I'll do both of these cards together. We've got the 3rd and the 4th. And we've got the fiddler crab, which talks about boundaries. And we've got the koala, which is talking about a slower energy. So the fiddler crab is card 46, and it says to be on guard. Be on guard, protect ourselves, we could say, but don't be paranoid. There is also a feeling with this card sometimes that it's reminding us to keep things close to our chest. So if there is a new idea or something that we're thinking, something we're going through, sometimes we need to deal with things privately. So there is a guarded feeling here where we may feel like we just want to deal with things or have this experience privately. You know, I think these days we share so much on social media and things, you know, sometimes it's nice just to have a day where we just enjoy it for enjoying it without trying to capture the best photo or, you know, share what we've done today. So there is that sort of feeling here for Saturday especially, but maybe also Sunday. Oh, we've got a visitor. Someone wants to say hello. Oh, she did. Here she is. She's come to say good morning. This is Puss. She's quite content just to sit here, it seems. Okay, so let's keep our protection and stay on guard, but not paranoid, especially Saturday, but also it feels like Sunday. And this is the koala for Sunday, and it is a featured card, but it says here to meditate, reflect and ponder. It doesn't want us to pull another card. The koala says to ponder, slow down, there's a quiet energy, grandfather energy, and to wait. So there is a slow energy that's coming in for Sunday, where we might find that we just want to rest. We may want to sleep. The koalas sleep a lot. So we may just want to, and we may find that we feel this slow energy on Sunday, and let's make the most of it if we've got the time for it, to let ourselves slow down, to let ourselves rest, to heal, to mend, to ponder where we're going, to wait, and that we know that there's no rush and that everything's going to be okay. So there is that kind of energy coming through for Sunday. So interesting, aside from the cobra bite, which is definitely the most intense card for the week, which is coming up for around Wednesday, there is a lot of just general purging, clearing, boundaries, keeping on going, being on guard, so protection, and that quieter sort of energy too. So yeah, it feels like it could be a reasonably good week this week. So let's see how everything flows. So I'm going to get ready now to pull a card for the theme for this week. Before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to, and if you would love to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. I have my next online art class coming up on Saturday, this Saturday the 3rd of July, and it is about illusion. So we'll be exploring illusion and truth and protection and all the stuff that seems to be quite strong this last week or two. It's not an accident, these themes of these art classes, but if you would love to dive into that with me and with my wonderful art students, then please have a look on my website. You can only join it live, or you can only book to it live. If you can't make it live, I can send you the recording, but it's not available afterwards. So check that out, please, if you want to. I've got some new ceramics on my website, leannepeters.com, and you can learn more about my cards. These are probably finished printing now. We'll have our new deck soon, and the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards are available now. So let's see, what is the best card for the theme for this week? the theme will help us see the bigger picture and help bring all of these days of this week together. Come back and connect with the recording through the week too if you want to. It will be pinned to the top of my Facebook page, Temple of Balance. You'll find it on my website, templeofbalance.com.au, under the video tab, and you'll also find it soon on my YouTube channel, Temple of Balance on YouTube. So the best card for the theme is this theme card here. Oh, that's nice. We've got card 2, prayer. Prayer, an answered prayer. It says ask, help, answers, improvement. This adds a nice, what's the best word? A nice, supportive, nourishing, almost gentle energy for this week, which actually also softens the potential impact for the cobra bite, because this is quite like a snake bite. But adding this kind of supportive cloud over this whole week as the theme does actually soften this. It's almost like the bite might not be as sharp as what it felt like before because of this influence. So it's talking about asking for help. So if you have been saying to yourself, I need help, I need help, I need help with this or that or what have you, maybe this week is going to be great for you to find someone or find the way or whatever it is that you need help with, to find that help that you're looking for. So don't be afraid to ask for help. A lot of people around us who care for us don't know we need help unless we ask for it. So don't think people around you are mind readers, because they're not. So if you need help, instead of being bitter inside and letting it all fester, ask. I'm sure people around you would be very happy to help if they knew that you needed it. So don't be careful that you're not bottling it up and waiting for a random person to read your mind, because it's very rare that would happen. So, reach out and ask and tell people around you that you need help, and can you please help with this if you're available or what have you. So it's talking about asking and the help that you need. It is also talking about answers. So there might be the potential this week for some questions that we have, some uncertainties that we've been feeling about our life or about ourselves, that the answers are going to come. So we may receive those in ways that we least expect. So let's be open to receiving those answers, and let's know and trust that if we've got a question or if we've got an uncertainty about something and we put it out there, if we admit it to ourselves that we've got the question or the concern, the answer has to come to us. That is the law of attraction. It's like, I always trust, if I'm feeling confused about something, that I know clarity is looking and trying to find its way to me. I've just got to get out of the way. I've got to admit that I feel confused and then maybe go and do something else for a bit, so that I can let the clarity find its path to me. Just like letting the answers to your questions or your uncertainties come to you, or the clarity that you're looking for come to you. And this card also highlights improvement. So changes, we could say as another word for changes, are improvement, especially if you're aligned with your truth and you seek to live a life that is honest and true. You can trust that any changes that take place are improvements that are going to help align you further and further and further with your truth and with who you are. So changes, if that's scary, think about improvement. Improvement means change, because if there's something that's not that good about our life or that we're going through right now, then we may need to look at, okay, how can I improve this? Well, in other words, how can I make changes? So changes and improvement are very similar. So it might be worth playing with the idea of improvement and changes and their relationship together this week. But I think that's all I really need to say. I'm going to go over to YouTube. I've got another healing event to host very soon, so I might see you over there in what time is it? 45 minutes, I'll be over there. So thank you for joining me today. If you have enjoyed the video, please interact, and I might see you next week for the weekly guidance. Keep an eye out for more videos this week and other posts and things. Please interact across the board. across Facebook, YouTube comments, the Patreon, email. Let us know what you see so that we know what you see. And please support my work through my website. Thank you so much, and wishing you a wonderful new week ahead and new month. Namaste.